Hello, it's Leanne Peters here. I'm from templeofbalance.com.au, Temple of Balance on Facebook and Temple of Balance on YouTube. And I'm here to share some cards and some guidance for this week. That's this week starting today, Monday the 28th of September, through till Sunday the 4th of October. Yay, we transition into a new month. I am super inspired and have a fire light under my backside. I'm really feeling inspired to break the mold today and to be like a butterfly emerging from the cocoon. So we are not doing our typical cards on the board thing this week. It may come back next week, it may not. I don't know. We'll see how I feel at the time. But for today, for this week, I want to do an intuitive reading. So I'm not going to have this day, that day, I'm just going to lay some cards out and I'm going to talk about the week ahead from more of an intuitive perspective. So I'm going to remain here. I'm not pausing the video. Excuse the mess of my backyard. I've got, we had some hay delivered because I don't like using grass killer like a Roundup from Monsanto, so we don't use that in our garden. So we've just laid out a bunch of hay which will become the bed for our healing event on Tuesday. That's this Tuesday. Actually, it's tomorrow. Plant the seeds for new beginnings for my patrons, so I look forward to connecting with you then. It's not too late to join too if you want to. Let me know if you want the link, but it will be too late if you watch this Tuesday or Wednesday or further on. But if you're watching this when it comes up, then it may still be fine for you to join in if you wish. So, welcome, extra special welcome to my Temple of Balance patrons, my Pillar of Light family, and all of those of you who support my work through my website. Thank you so much for your support. Just a couple of things before I start. Firstly, this is nothing, nothing that you will find on the internet. Sometimes I go through phases of working with face paint to bring through a little symbol or something that I really want to embody. And right now I'm feeling bold, I'm feeling daring, I'm feeling like I want to break outside the box. I feel a bit rebellious, like I just want to push through. Oh, the sun's coming out, beautiful and warm. So when I was getting ready for the video, I just grabbed my brush and my white face paint and I just did a few lines that felt right for me and this energy that I'm really feeling strongly that I want to kind of bring through in this reading and hopefully inspire you a bit too. That would be awesome. So there's that. There's also, I've had some people asking about readings, private readings. As a general rule, I don't really do readings as such. So if you're looking for a future reading, a psychic reading, I don't offer those. I find that they tend to, in general, attract people that are desperate and needy and want then to contact me all the time to see what colour or how they should cut their hair and want me to guess what colour their underwear is, or not necessarily underwear. Okay, what colour socks they've got on. That didn't sound very appropriate, but, you know, I don't like guessing games and I'm not really interested in, you know, just the trivial things that tend to come with psychic readings. So in general, my readings tend to be more healing based. I'm more interested in helping you connect with yourself, overcome your issues and challenges and inspire you to move forward. So that's where my readings kind of come in. But at the moment, I'm really busy and I have my readings, my supportive services, most of them are temporarily closed until the 1st of November. So I've had a few people asking about them, so I just wanted to just let you know if you weren't aware. Hopefully on the 1st of November, I'll be have a few things sorted out where I can then go, okay, I now have time to do this again. So that will be then. I'm still offering my drawings, my spirit guide drawings, which also include a reading. And you can also join me on Patreon where you can also enjoy some readings too. So let's get focused on this. This is our guidance for this week ahead. I am using my combined Speed of Light Oracle cards with my Animal Kingdom. And I trust that you've been led here for a reason. So I trust that something shared supports you. And I recommend that you come back and connect with this reading, this video throughout the week. It's going to remain pinned to the top of my Temple of Balance Facebook page, and you will also find it on my YouTube channel and my website, actually, under the video tab. So, unity, togetherness, support. This is what I'm really interested in right now. I feel this strong, rebellious, bold pull to break out of the mold, to stop being submissive, to stop conforming to the masses and the voices that may not be healthy and supportive. And I really want to, I'm just feeling it so strongly to push into this boldness in these moments. So I feel right now I could conquer anything. I feel right now I could step up and say anything. So let's see what will happen. I'm shuffling my cards. Now, usually I would pull cards for each day, but not this time. I'm going to lay out some cards intuitively on the little table in front of me, and then I will read that and as for the week ahead. So I'm looking for the best cards for this week for the majority of us. So from today, Monday the 28th of September, through to Sunday the 4th of October. So just let me concentrate for a moment. Take a nice big breath. Okay. So I'm just laying these face down in front of me. I don't want to be influenced by any cards I see. Okay, so I've got cards down. I'm not going to really show you the cards unless I need to, but I'm turning them over now. Oh, okay. And if any featured cards come up, which one just did when I said that, let's... Okay, so we have one featured card, the Shaman. So it says to fan out the deck and pick an extra card. So I'm going to do that now with this. Okay, and we have Harmony with it, just so you know. Okay, so I've got a group of, I've got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cards for this week. We're going to start early on in the week. This is a excuse me, it's a favourable time to speak up. A favourable time to start something new, to make changes, and to consider where in our life things are flat or stagnant or stale, or things that are tense, stressful, things that aren't working, things that are problematic in our life. So it's going to be great early in the week, and we might feel quite motivated to make some changes and follow through with things that we've been wanting to do. So this is the ladybug that's come up for early in the week. So a favourable time. She's like the good luck card in the deck. So it brings favourable energy for change and for applying things that we've been wanting to apply for, or do things we've been wanting to do. And I can feel that here at the beginning of the week. It's about my mid-morning here in Tasmania on the Monday the 28th. Then I'm already feeling, I feel so inspired this morning. So I can feel this favourable energy. Now it's going to potentially branch off. So it might not run for long. We might just feel it for a couple of hours. We may feel it for the day on Monday, but it may teeter, sort of taper out. So, and then what's probably going to happen is we're going to kind of sit on what we've been feeling on, sit on what we've been inspired to consider, and just kind of sit in that space. We've got the pause card, which says like holding space. It talks about perfect timing, and it's just really saying that now may not be a good time to really fully proceed. So it might be good to maybe get some plans down, get a bit organized, maybe talk to someone, and maybe really sort of sit in the energy that we're feeling. So sit with it, and maybe sit with it for a few days or a few weeks to see how we feel as things progress in our life. So there is a sense of limbo that's coming in too, where we may feel a little bit like we go from here to there. We may feel that we go from the closed door into the open door, or we go from the open door into the closed door. So there is a sense of going from one extreme to the next. And it could even be like a big change of viewpoint, where something triggers or something happens, something we connect with on the Monday may trigger us to really consider another viewpoint, another opinion, another perspective on a situation that we have been looking at maybe quite tunnel visionedly. Now this is, as we're going into Tuesday, I feel that it's going to be important for us to look at where we're feeling overwhelmed or pressured or stressed out, and do what we need to do to take the pressure off ourselves. If that means we need to have a day off, or a mental day, or whatever they're called these days, then that might be what we need to do, to then proactively look at where are we feeling stressed, where are we feeling pressured, and how can we take that pressure off ourselves? In some cases, it may be, right, I'm doing too much. I need to either cut some things out. I need to lighten my workload. I need to ask for help. So that may come up for us, especially as we go into Tuesday. This is coming from the Delegate card, so you know. This will then lead us into a time of unity where we feel more connected with ourselves. So this is as we proactively follow the things that inspire us, spark those new ideas, to sit in it in that pause space, to take the time to take the pressure off ourselves, maybe get a bit more organised or plan a little bit better if we need to. Then there's a feeling maybe towards Wednesday that of things coming together. There is a general sense of unity, and there is a sense here that we may need to take a mental break. We have the mental floating card which says to take a mental break. It says to be spontaneous and escape our mental pressures. And this may be what some of us are being led into as we get towards the middle of the week. We may need to take a day off. We may need to cancel things or look at what we need to do to take a little bit of a break from our everyday pressures that we've been under. Now, by the time we do hit Wednesday, I'm feeling everything I've shared, maybe Monday, Tuesday, into Wednesday for some. Then we've got this card as we really hit into Wednesday. And we've got the Shaman, time for a break, a pause, to reassess our life, and a private kind of energy where we may feel like we want to retreat, we may want to withdraw, we may want to sit in our cave and assess our life, assess where we're going, assess our perspective and our attitude, and where we are feeling pressured and stressed out, and what we might need to do then. So what solution we might be able to find to bring forward some improvement or some change. Well, this private time is also connected with this harmony card, which brings in balance, but it also brings in a really strong connection with music or sound. So we may find putting on our favourite music, our favourite album, our favourite song, singing our favourite song, playing our favourite musical instrument, if you're that way inclined, may also help us really find that necessary assessment and time of healing that we may need on Wednesday. Wednesday feels like, I guess the lead up to Wednesday feels a little bit flighty, fluidy, like wings flapping, a little bit like clothes dancing on the clothesline. There's a little bit of a looser feeling to Monday and Tuesday. As we get into Wednesday, things feel a little more serious and things feel a little more fixed. So a little bit like a rock is what I'm feeling Wednesday to be. So we may find it beneficial to make some time to be private, to maybe withdraw a little bit, turn some things off if we need to, and shut some doors and just be in our space, to meditate, to heal. Maybe with our journal to assess where we are in our life, how are we feeling right now, and where do we feel we're going, and what changes might need to be made. So real consideration of things on Wednesdays. It feels quite serious and a good time to focus and a good time to maybe be a little isolated in some ways where we can kind of process things ourselves. Now, as we then move, so Wednesday is actually the last day of the month. So on Thursday is the 1st of October and we move into a new month, and the energy feels new here too. So the 1st of October brings with it the sea eagle, and the sea eagle says reconnection. So this is a great time on Thursday as we move out of that kind of midweek fixed sort of energy, that midweek kind of seriousness and focus, where we may need to be serious because there are times when we have to be. Then it feels like Thursday something sort of shifts, like we open a door, and as we open that door in our life and in ourselves, there's a sense here of opening up. So whatever we can do on Wednesday to assess, to heal, to mend, to reflect, to consider things in our life is probably going to open up some new doors that move forward on Thursday. So the reconnection with the sea eagle feels like it's just flying, like it's just been let loose out of a cage. And we may feel that on Thursday too, like something that we felt bound up with, or something we felt quite pressured and stressed by, or trapped in. Something frees up on Thursday. So there's a sense here with this card of reconnecting with ourselves, reconnecting with our truth, our values, our honesty and integrity, and also reconnecting with our spiritual interests on Thursday. I feel this focus now on where we're going, almost a new revived sense of hope for our future, something to live for, something to fight for, feels important. So then we move into Friday, and we're actually going to flow this into the weekend. It feels like we can separate Wednesday and Thursday. So Monday and Tuesday into Wednesday feel like a fluidy, looser kind of energy. Wednesday feels more fixed, and then we're moving out of that fixed space on Thursday. I feel like we could bundle the weekend up together with Friday. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday feel to be fairly similar. It feels like the energy wants to move swiftly, like we are a bird flying. So we're not breaking free out of the cage. There's not that liberation sort of feeling. It's like we're moving. So a bit like I mentioned in the current energy report this morning, it feels like we're on a train and we're heading somewhere. That's where it feels Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So there's a real sense of purpose that we can potentially tap into over Friday and the weekend. We have this card as we start the weekend. So this Friday, Saturday, Sunday energy, which is the 2nd, 3rd, 4th of October. We have the owl, the masked owl. It reminds us to stay optimistic. So there is a revived sense of hope as we move towards the weekend, which comes with it purpose and something to live for. What have you got to live for? I feel like this is a really important question to ask ourselves this week. And it may be worth considering early in the week as we move into Wednesday's kind of downtime and privacy time. What are you living for? If you can't think of anything, if I can't think of anything, I would be concerned. For me, I find it valuable to have something to live for. So it might be something you're working towards, something you're working on. It might be connected with your family and your loved ones. It may be connected with your goals and your dreams for your future. What do you have to live for? And how can you sit with that question really honestly this week? How can you answer it honestly for you? Don't pretend. Be careful of any immediate reaction of, well, I'm living for this, because that's what you've been trained to say or respond with. Really give it some thought. If you come back to that, what your sort of immediate response is, then great. But be open to it not being that. Be open to having or realizing that maybe you don't have a lot to live for in your perspective. And if that's the case, it feels like this weekend there's something that's going to stir, like a spark that's going to come alive over the weekend, that's going to help direct and give us clarity towards our purpose and what we do have to live for. So when we're asking ourselves the question, what am I living for? And whatever the answer is, no matter how simple or complex or how existent or non-existent the answer might be, we just want to observe. We don't want to judge and use that question to then make us think, wow, my life is crap. I've got nothing to live for. Why am I even here? Use your question and what you observe your answer to be from an observational perspective. So try not to judge it. But what information you gather, see if you can work with that information then to create more to live for, or to create more of a focus, purpose for yourself. To maybe light that fire under your backside to get going. You know, how much time have you wasted talking about your dream and not actually doing it? So let the question revive you and spark that motivation in you to get whatever it is that you determine that you're living for, to get that off the ground. If you determine that you don't really have anything you're living for, you might be feeling quite alone, you might not really be enjoying life much, I would be using that question and what you observe as the answer as a wake-up call. As a wake-up call to get active with something, to find a hobby, start singing, learn a musical instrument, start a craft, learn some art, join a photography workshop, learn some new skills, step out into nature, create a daily exercise plan for yourself. Care about how you feel, care about how you look, care about the health and the state of your body. There is a lot that you can do to give yourself and your life meaning. Volunteer. Offer to visit some elderly people in your local aged care home, if that's allowed in the current situation. So we start the weekend off motivated. We might even feel like we want to hit the ground running. We're feeling so inspired and ready to act. And we might not even do a lot of acting, action, being proactive. We may feel quite inspired and motivated. We might talk about it and get a lot of ideas down. So staying hopeful as we start the weekend on Friday. And then as we move into the weekend itself, we have this first, which is the eagle's nest, and we have the wolf, which talks about boundaries. So let's talk about this card first. This is talking about changes in the home, changes in the structures, our home situation, our work situation, it may be included. But this is also talking about our time of waiting will soon be over. So there is change afoot. There's something unhappening under the surface. And we're being encouraged with this card to use this time of waiting to prepare. Some might think, what are we preparing for if we don't know where we're going? I always, when I'm in preparation mode, I may not know where I'm going either or what I'm going to do in 2 days' time, but I trust what I feel my body wants to do. My body to prepare may be to have a big spring clean, and that may be just the only thing, if I could think of anything I want to do today, it's just clean. Right, I'm going to clean. So that's what I trust and that's what I follow, and that's probably a time of preparation. Maybe you're packing and preparing to move home so you can get a few things organised. So what preparation can you do this weekend in regards to where you want to go and what meaning and purpose you want to create for your life? There is something comforting about this. As unsettling as it may be, as changes in the home may be, as people move in and out, as we move in and out, it is very unsettling. There is something comfortable about these changes this weekend. I feel like we're in our nest, our safe place where we can explore things, where we can challenge ourselves, where we can push our boundaries. Speaking of boundaries, we have the wolf. So this is very much on Sunday, but also reflective of the whole weekend is the wolf. And it says to secure those boundaries. This is time now to step up and say no, to stop being submissive and stop letting ourselves be a doormat and step up and do what we know we are qualified for, capable of, and ready for. So we have to be careful of kind of bullying people that want to keep us submissive and submitted and keep us low and keep us under them. And it's not about, if we could observe a situation and see where we're at, and if we're not running too much on ego, or at all, hopefully, then we should be able to see quite clearly where we fit in something. If someone comes in with a big ego and feels like they fit in to a place better than we do, but we know that's not true, then it is okay for us to step up and to say no, to reinforce our truth and reinforce our position. There is a feeling here over the weekend that we will consider and maybe need to enforce and secure our boundaries, to say no, to look at our priorities and how we spend our time and where we're giving our power away. That's actually probably where it comes to, doesn't it? Where or who are we giving our power away to? This may be something that we notice on the weekend and that we want to rein in. If we're feeling drained and exhausted over an issue or over something, we may be giving our power away to it. So consider where you're giving your power away and where can you secure your boundaries this weekend. Let's just split the deck, and I'm going to grab a card for the theme for this week. I trust this makes sense. We will know more as we go through our week. So if you're listening to this on Monday and you're like, I don't know what she's talking about, I wouldn't be surprised, and I think that's quite fine and okay, because we don't know what the weekend's going to hold yet. We don't know what later in the week's going to hold either. So come back, please, and check on the video throughout the week so you can see where this fits and how this fits in with your life. So our best card for the theme this week is this. Okay, so what I'm feeling for the theme before I turn the card, I'm getting a lion feel here, and I feel like we are really being encouraged to step up into our role as leaders, leaders of our life, leaders of our truth as well. That we are actually more powerful than we realize. And we are most powerful when we are united, when we are together, when we work together. So just let's be careful that we're not falling into the trap of isolation, smallness, fear, doubt, and all these things that keep us divided and small and isolated and alone. We are rising together. We can rise together. We may not see it much in the world right now, but let's trust that there is a rising up of healthy, empowered leadership. And I'm not talking about our world leaders. I'm talking about the leader within us. That we are actually stronger and more powerful than we realize. Let's see what this card wants to add here. We have the giraffe, which is funny. I was watching a documentary on lions a week ago, and giraffes made an appearance. It's card 33, and it says to look at things differently. So this is a perspective shift of a week. We could flow through the week not willing to look at our perspective, not willing to challenge our viewpoint and our truth and our ways and how we believed something to be as actually probably being different. I talked about this for earlier in the week. We could travel along stubborn and rigid in our viewpoint and our beliefs and what we're talking about. If we can loosen that, if we are open even a little bit and are willing to see things a little differently, from a different perspective, from a different side, by asking ourselves questions, listening honestly for the answers, then this will shift a lot for us this week. I feel like the table is turning, and it's all key to do with our perspective, how we are viewing the world, how we're viewing life, how we're viewing our relationships, how we're viewing ourselves. So how are you viewing yourself, your relationships, your life, the world? Is there anything that's a theme with what you're viewing? So I would be sitting with my journal and I would ask myself the questions. How do I see myself? Sit with it and feel honestly for the answer. I don't have to pretend. I just want to be honest with myself so I can see what I need to improve or what I need to change or what's working for me. How do I view my relationships? So what do my general feel on relationships at the moment? Are they good? Supportive? Are they tense? Is there something going on there? Are there issues? Are there underlying issues that aren't really being spoken about? What's our view of our life? So including everything, our day-to-day life. If you could pick a few words or sentences to describe it, what would they be? And lastly, how am I viewing the world? How do I see the world right now? Now, based on the answers, again, not judging them, we're just observing how we honestly feel. Are there any themes? Are we seeing ourselves the same way as we're seeing our relationships? Are there themes across the board? That's what we really want to look for, because that will show us where we are a bit blocked and where we may need to look at healing or some releasing. So observe, and by what you observe, consider what action that you can take for improvement. So that's our cards for this week, coming to you a little differently, and I trust resonating with you. So thank you so much for connecting. I don't know, I may do something similar next week. I may go back to the board. I don't know, and I don't have a plan, and I don't need, I respectfully don't need any opinions either. I just really need to trust in what I feel. I don't want to be limited by how I'm sharing, and if I feel like I want to do it in a different way, I want to have the freedom to do that without feeling like, well, a lot of people enjoy the other way, so I'm just going to go back to the tried and true and tested way. I have to be able to challenge myself. I have to be able to push myself further and learn in new ways and see things in new perspectives. So thank you for connecting today. I've used my combined Speed of Light Oracle cards with my Animal Kingdom Oracle, which you can learn more about on my website if you're so inspired. If you've enjoyed the video, please hit the thumbs up button. Please show us some love. Please comment or share if you're inspired to, and if you want to connect more privately, please send us a message through our website. I have a couple of things coming up this week. Firstly, I want to thank patrons who are choosing to come over into October. Thank you so much for your support into October. On Tuesday, which is actually tomorrow for me, I'll be in the garden with my phone, and I'll be live streaming our annual healing event, our springtime healing event for me. It's springtime here, planting the seeds for new beginnings. So that'll be happening tomorrow on my on my YouTube channel, Temple of Balance on YouTube. Check it out if you want to. Last minute requests to be on the healing list are accepted. You just need to go to my Patreon account, which is www.patreon, so it's patron, but eon.com/Temple of Balance. And it's the $15 pledge level will give you access to that healing list. So get in soon, because I've actually been preparing. So I've got your names written on things and all that sort of stuff. But you can come and watch if you're not on the list if you want to. So I look forward to connecting with you then. Next Sunday, or this Sunday actually, on the 4th of October, I will be at the St. Helens Arts Market. I think it's at the Panorama St. Helens Resort or something in St. Helens. From 10 till 4, I will mainly have ceramics, but I will have some card decks. I'll have some art prints. We'll have some art cards. But come along and say hi if you're in the north of Tasmania or you want to come and see me. I'd love to see you. So please come along and say hi if you want to. So have a fantastic week ahead. Happy birthday to anyone celebrating. Happy anniversary as well. And I trust this has supported you and inspired you to do or be whatever it is that's important to you. So I really feel it's important that we come together at this time. So I'm showing you my support, and I trust you feel that. So thank you so much. If you want to learn more about me and the work I do at Temple of Balance, please visit templeofbalance.com.au. Thank you for your support, and I will see you next time throughout the week, no doubt. So take care, and bye for now.